Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the UFL field. I am Matt Assar. Galen will be joining me soon, and Durgan is going to be streaming this game for you. We have the Bills against the Mustangs, so I'm very excited about this game. Looking forward to what both teams are going to bring to the table here. We're about 1 minute away from kickoff, so Durgan, they can't really hear you, but here on the fan sim, but feel free to talk back and forth with me until Galen gets here, because if not, then I'm just going to be talking to myself, and like you said, unless I'm doing two different voices, it's probably going to be really, really weird for everybody. Just
I
to
don't
hear
know.
me
I would
talking
I
with
would
a
listen
little.
to that. I think that would make good commentation.
Yeah, it would be good, but well, I mean, from the fan side over here, they're going to think I'm talking to myself anyway, because you'll say something, I'm going to laugh about it, and they're not even going to know what's going on. So a little bit of that. But looking forward to this game. The Bills won the toss, have elected to defer to the second half. So the Mustangs offense will start with the ball. Going to be really interested to see what their plan of attack is going to be against this Bills defense. We know most of the time the Mustangs are a very pass-heavy team. I wonder if coming into this game against one of the top-tier teams in the league, that maybe the Mustangs might slow it down, kind of keep it more confined, maybe to the ground, try to eat some clock. A lot of what we've seen transpire kind of in games like this, try to control the clock and minimize their mistakes through the air. So really interested to see that here. Bills, I don't expect anything different. They're going to throw the ball around. Crevin's going to get his yards on the ground whenever he can. Their defense is going to play solid. Marlowe's going to have to be very, very wary of just tossing the ball up into this Bills secondary, because in those one-on-one situations, it's going to be really, really tough for the Mustangs to beat the Bills, in that the Bills are a very talented team. But we are right here at 4 o'clock, so it should be time for kickoff. Galen, whenever you get here, just let me know, because I'm not looking. Just say you're here. All the refs have backed off of the field. The ball is in play in the first of the two games today, getting ready to kick off right now. Trevin will be kicking the ball off, taking his time, lining up his kick. 100% kick is up. Caught on the right hash, taken over to the right sideline. Dre gets it, cuts inside, dancing around the 25. A host of Bills around, swings around, still moving, gets stumbled, taken down by Chris, one of the many Lieutenant Dans that there are. So
it's a great recovery of about 7-8 yards there they wouldn't have otherwise gotten.
Yep. Job by Dre, kind of sit there, play around a little bit, find a little hole, and the Mustangs come out on offense. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Marlowe in the shotgun with two running backs in the backfield. Greg to her left, Burt to the right. Key and Ashley are the receivers to the left. Dre out by himself to the right side. Ace, Jillian, and Jace are the line, tasked with a huge role of trying to hold back this Bills defensive line. Marlowe snap, takes the ball, runs up the left side, gets tackled by Crevin, pickup of 3 yards. But nice to see her going to the ground early in this game. First play, 3-yard gain. Took advantage of the small opening.
As you were saying there, Matt, we're expecting a pass-heavy game from the Mustangs there, defying all odds there by running straight at the middle of the field.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think that it'll be smart for them to keep it on the ground, even as this game progresses and points start to happen. It's going to be really important, I think, for the Mustangs to keep this ball, keep it under their control. I know that the fumble bug can happen. You hope that it doesn't bite you if you're planning on keeping the ball on the ground, but that needs to be the Mustangs' focus. But Marlon comes back out in the shotgun, two receivers to her right this time. He alone to the left. Same lineup on the line and in the backfield. Snap, drops back, heads over to the right side, heading up, got a good little room in front. Burt does not get the block that he needs on Crevin. No gain on the play, going to bring up third down. Had a lot of room there if Burt was able to get the block, but Crevin very elusive, both on the offensive side and defensive side, able to fight around the block and take Marlowe down for no gain. It's going to bring up the first third down of the game. Trips to the left for the Mustangs. Ashley moves over to the right, joining Dre. Greg over in the back of the bunch on the left side. Burt in the slot. And Key the left wide receiver. Marlowe in the shotgun by herself. The front three going to have to buy her some time here. Bills pin those ears back. Try to get in Marlowe's face. Taking her time.
Yeah, Bill's very strong team at coming around there, closing the jaws around the quarterback. Marlowe moving off to the left, right immediately. Trailing tacklers
and receiver
and
behind
going
everybody.
Oh, Kai
but
right
incomplete.
at the end. Yeah, Kai open for days down there, just not finding any joy moving in to catch that ball.
Yep. Was able. That's a good thing, a good sign. You know, the Bills kind of crashed everybody down into the box. She rolls over. It becomes a one-on-one situation. Excuse me, Key against Dante, and Key's able to get behind Dante in that situation. Ball's just slightly overthrown.
Absolutely.
But it's 4th down. They're going to go for it. It's going to be one of these toss-ups. If you're Marlowe, just put the ball where somebody can catch it, because if this ball goes incomplete, that's the worst thing. Either you get sacked or you throw an incomplete pass right here. If anything, if the Bills get the ball back, let it be an interception on like the 30-yard line on the other side of the field. This does not need to be. This cannot be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone questioned the wisdom of going in for it so early in the game.
Yep.
Marlowe moving off to the left again, looking for the middle. Oh, finding some joy. Why she pulled back?
Jesus. If she would have just sprinted straight up, I don't think she realized maybe that she crossed the line of scrimmage. But
seems that way to me.
4th down, you can't do that play right there. The ball has to get in the air.
You can't hesitate.
Yep.
If you're gonna go for a run like that on for the 4th and long, you can't hesitate. And she pulls back behind the line of scrimmage again and is taken down.
Yep. One of the two things we said could not happen in that situation happens to the Mustangs right there. But the Bills, high octane offense takes the field. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Krevin snaps, rolls over to the right side, still working, cuts inside, and gets taken down by Jillian. A good job holding her position, keeping on his outside. She stumbles him, trips him up. He tries to cut back across her face, and she's able to bring him down. So a pickup of 1 yard there. Going to see the front 4 of the Mustangs are going to have a tall order trying to contain Krevin today. Throws it across, has a receiver, Dante, standing wide open on the left hash. Rolls across, crosses the field to the 20-15, cuts back inside, still making people miss. Brought down just outside of the 10-yard line, about the 10.5. Pickup of 25 yards. He just ran up about 15, sat down right on the hash mark. Krevin just pitched it to him wide open. Then Dante does the rest of the work. 25 yards later, 1st down and 10. Or you could say almost goal. They could possibly get a 1st down without scoring. Krevin dancing around, crosses to the 5, cuts back inside, dancing around again, gets to the 5-yard line, taken down right there. Marlowe on the tackle, picks up 6 yards, and the Bills just moving the ball little chunks at a time.
Yeah, the Bills right early on showing that they're controlling the field here, making small gains, but, you know, being completely unimpeded moving up the field.
Snap. Krevin rolls over to the right. Good. Does not get the block. The block comes in late right there, and Ashley's able to fight through it, pushes the offensive lineman down, reaches out, grabs Krevin, takes him to the ground. Loss of 4 yards, 3rd down and 8. So a good job there by Ashley. Krevin just a little bit close to the line. Otis gets the block, but it was just a step late. And that the stretch was on there for Ashley, and she gets it and takes Krevin down. Krevin dancing around in the backfield, backing up, looking for a receiver, throws it across the field, out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down. As the ball goes incomplete out the back of the end zone, 4th and 8 for the Bills.
Surprising to see It's surprising to see the Mustangs stopping the Bills this close to the end zone right there.
Yep. That play by Ashley was decided a big play for them. But if you're the Mustangs, it all comes down to this one play here to turn the Bills away with no points. Krevin dropping back, running around, got receivers in the middle of the field.
Wow.
But both of them kind of split and moved away from it. Receivers did not help him out. Right there, he had 2 standing in the same area. They both kind of backed away. Ball skipped right through the middle, and the Bills are turned away on their first drive of the game. 2 failed 4th down attempts, one by each team, and the Mustangs have the ball at their own 8.5-yard line.
Yeah,
so
not
Marlowe's
an enviable position for the Mustangs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Gonna have to get some breathing room here. Really good job by both defenses though here early
Yeah,
in the game.
absolutely.
If you're the Mustangs, you have to take advantage of this opportunity to kind of start the game back over. You know, you had your drive, it didn't go well, gave the ball back to the Bills in favorable field position. You turned them away completely. You get the ball back now. So just forget that last drive and take it. I mean, we saw even on that fourth down when if Marlowe would have just taken off and ran, it seemed like she would have had an opportunity to possibly get it. But a good
Which
run
looks
here,
like what she's
bounces
doing now.
outside. Really good 4-yard gain.
Strong 4-yard gain, yeah, absolutely. Takes in that end zone defense that we're pulling just on the previous drive there. Takes a lot of courage and a lot of discipline to stop a team like the Bills that close to the end zone. I think the Mustangs have done a really good job.
Yeah. And those, and one thing also that you see a lot of defenses, and I've seen this from the Mustangs. Teams can get down the field, but this too from playing. When you get inside that 10-yard line, it's very, very hard to move the ball.
Absolutely.
For the defense, you can make up a lot more ground. The passing lanes are really, really small, and the Mustangs have been doing a really good job, even in previous games. Even in the first week, whenever they got absolutely blown out by the Eagles. In the second half, when the Eagles got down to the goal line, the Mustangs defense was able to step up. So a really good job there. So it's easy to move the ball between the 20s, but when you get inside of that, it can be very difficult. Marlowe gets sacked right there. Jazzy coming off the side was blocked. Marlowe runs right into him. Play is under review. While we do that, we will go to our first sponsor of the night, the day, excuse me. That's going to be Glaze. Glaze is a supplier of a wide range of slink nails for both men and women. No holes barred. If it fits on a nail, they will do it. From the unusual, wacky styles to the more natural look, including no polished nail appliers, they also offer some slink hand tattoos. That is Glaze. I don't know if you have this.
No, I do not.
I'm going to pass it to you
Thank you very
right
much.
now. So then we're good to go.
Positive with the stream, so it's going to just go on. Sorry.
Plays under review. Still seems to be under review. So if you have that note card up,
yeah, cool.
Go ahead and just read off the next one.
Right, very well. The Tigers dance team and Little Paws are elite, one-of-a-kind teams that strike fear, awe, respect, and envy in the heart of the competition across the grid. Never ceasing to amaze a crowd, they bring high energy, talent, and fun to every event. Contact Samantha, SN Dubois resident, or Shay Harcourt today to join the hottest dance team in SL, or to book a performance. You can also like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/SL Tigers Dance Team. That's all one word.
Apparently the play was under review and there was nothing wrong, and Marlowe runs into a clump of people and gets taken down by Death Sheep DS on the tackle there. Loss of 2 yards. It's going to be 4th and 14. I do not advise this being a go-for-it situation as they bring out the punt formation.
Absolutely. Yeah, Marlowe really not finding any joy scrambling out of the pocket on those plays, being forced to punt this time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real challenge for her, not just because it's the Bills, but because she is such a pass heavy quarterback. Whenever you kind of have to change your entire game up, which it seems like she's doing in this, really looking for the run first. Whenever you're a quarterback who runs first and then you start to learn the passing game, it's a little bit easier because you are able to notice those holes, when to hit that sprint, how to create those advantages with your feet. And Marlowe has not really had the opportunities to do that. The punt is up. It's kind of bouncing around. Really short punt. It's going to be taken by Krevin. Works his way over to the left. Gets tripped up. Still moving. Taken down by Key. It's going to be a pickup of 4 yards on the return. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Bills. Around the same place they started last time.
Not an enviable starting position for the Mustangs here.
Nope, definitely not. But the Bills come back out. It's going to be trips to the right, two receivers out to the left. Krevin alone in the backfield. Snap, rolls over to the right, and Krevin's going to keep it on the ground. Crosses, gets 5 yards, crosses to the 30, keeps pushing outside, gets to the sideline, taken down there by Greg Stella. But an easy 15 yards. Greg makes the tackle, and he was the first guy to even get close. Krevin had an entire wall. The Mustangs defense backed out there. Great blocks on the edge by Otis. Seals it off, and Krevin just kind of trots for 15 yards. I don't even know if he ever even hit the sprint. Krevin over to the left, back to the right, overthrows his intended receiver, coming across the middle. Be 2nd down and 10. He had that was Jazzy coming across the middle.
Yeah, that was.
Ball was a little high.
Yeah, ball was a little high. Krevin looking for the quick passes here. It just seems that, the synchronicity there is just not quite there. Getting these passes out really quick, receivers aren't ready for him. It looks like a bit of a warming up needing to be going on for the Bills here.
Yep, Krevin over, back across, throws it across the middle, overthrown, wide open receiver. I'm pretty sure that was Jaden.
Yeah,
yes, it was. He was able to get across deep in the middle, but Krevin gets stumbled, kind of pushes that ball a little high, overthrows Jaden on a potential touchdown there. 3rd down and 10.
What's amazing to see from that is that Krevin was able to remain completely cool. The ball went a little bit too high, but to be able to come out of a stumble and make a pass like that, it's something that's really quite good to watch.
Krevin rolling over to the right side, dancing around, throws it back, got a receiver wide open, all alone, backside, easy score. Chris Taco, Lieutenant Dan, number, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I don't know. But one of the Lieutenant Dans comes down with it, 26 yards on the grab. Krevin to LT Dan, 26-yard touchdown for the Bills. First of the game. 6-0 Bills, 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. Extra point coming up. Really good job.
Lieutenant Dan open for days. They're just wondering where the Mustangs safety was there.
Yep, that happens a lot, and playing against the Bills, when Krevin's on the other side of the field, if you're that backside, and it really, the corner needs to be aware of this. If you're on that backside, you have to hold over there, because somebody will come back down that sideline. Now, if you're the corner and you're able to kind of stay over in that zone just between Krevin and that receiver, Krevin won't make that pass. But if you get sucked in too far to the middle and he has a wide open passing lane, he's going to take it all day long, because it's such an across the field pass. If you're just in the vicinity, you have the ability to make up that ground. But the entire Mustangs, that entire side of the secondary, got pulled way too far to the middle as Greg takes the return up the left hash, picks up 26 yards. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs, right around the 26-yard line. But it's just learning and knowing where you need to be in all situations. So I look for that to hopefully not happen again as this game progresses.
Yeah, hopefully they've learned from that mistake.
Yep. But the Mustangs get the ball back on offense. Marlowe back in the shotgun. 2 in the backfield with her. 2 to the right, 1 to the left.
Looking for more blocking power, it seems.
Dang right. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. 7-0 lead for the Bills. Snap. Marlowe rolling over.
Keep it safe, rolling back, looking for
got a receiver across the middle. Throws it across. Slightly was a little late coming across, but it went behind the intended receiver. Receiver didn't really help her out there. That actually was may have been a touch high. Maybe it was a touch high.
Risky pass into traffic there as well. One receiver with 3 people in coverage on him.
Yeah. The decision wasn't really that bad, 'cause the receiver was a step in front of those people, but that ball can't be thrown behind the receiver.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if that ball's put right out in front of Key, he's able to grab it and probably turn it up, headed toward the sideline, pick up a nice chunk of yardage. Really good decision there by Marlowe. So the decision-making's been really, really good. Just the execution has to tighten up for the Mustangs, but they're doing the right things on offense right now. I'm really happy to see that. Marlowe snap. Rolls over to the right, backs up, gets stumbled, got a whole people around her, and Jazzy comes in, 2nd sack of the game. Loss of 11 yards, going to be 3rd and 21.
Of course, I mean, we were talking about a good decision made by the Mustangs there, but the problem that we were seeing there is that, if she's got less receivers going out there because she's got 2 running backs into block, less coverage needed so they can collapse right on top of her.
Exactly. Kind of a pick your own poison. If you bring those people into the back, like you were saying, they're knowing that you're wanting that, that extra help. So they're going to bring a little bit more heat because it's going to allow 2 people to kind of crash down with those.
Yeah, thus the empty backfield on this play.
Yep. Trips to the left, 2 to the right. Now, Marlowe drops back, heading over to the left side, cuts back to the middle, dropping back even more, heading over to the left, throws it up, down the left sideline, overthrows everybody. Intended receiver looked to possibly be Greg. It was Greg heading up that way. Ball was a little bit too far and a little bit too left. Ball's harmlessly to the ground, and they're going to come out and punt again.
Smart decision.
I agree. Especially right here.
Yeah, they can't afford to be throwing away points right now. I mean, they did a good job on the initial defense against the Bills after they gave the ball away, but right now they really need to stop them from racking up points.
Yep.
And just try and regroup.
And their defensive effort on the last Bills drive was very good as well until just the blown assignment on the backside left the receiver wide open. But the overall defensive effort was really well. I think it was a third down that they scored on too. It was third and a couple. So they've gotten themselves into some favorable field position. But the punt is off, heads up the left side. Jaden catches it, and he breaks right through, splits two people, cuts back inside 30, gets tripped up there, crosses to the 29-yard line. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Bills once again, starting in Mustangs. On the Mustang side of the field, every drive they have had so far.
Problem is the Mustangs are starting to get any room to breathe here. You know, this starting position for them is just not enviable at all. No. It's just they just don't have a chance to rally right now.
It's bad whenever the starting yard line for both teams is the same, because it pretty much is, except for the Bills, the Mustangs, when they get the ball, are starting on their own 20 after the Bills kick it to them, and then the Bills are getting the ball on offense close to the 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's bad whenever you're on the wrong side of that. But you're only down 7-0, and an overthrow there brings up second down and 10. Crevin works over to the right side, throws it across, receiver wide open, caught by Jaden, dances around, gets stumbled, taken down. 26-yard strike from Crevin to Jaden, something we see a lot. No surprise there. The Bills set up at the 3-yard line, excuse me.
It's interesting to see that the coverage sticking towards the goal line right there, just completely on top. Two guys sort of covering Jaden, but just not being in a position to make a play on the ball.
Crevin just walks in easily, moves over toward the left, gets a lot of blocks on the backside, cuts across untouched, 3-yard touchdown run. Crevin takes it in 13-0 in favor of the Bills here early in the second quarter. We will talk about Geek. Geek is known for its unique and creative accessories and hair, often inspired by the personal interest of its creator, nostalgia, and current 100% all original mesh. Customers can be confident in their shopping experience for originality. That is Geek. So if you're the Mustangs offense, Galen, what are you saying right now in their huddle?
Please move the ball past the 20-yard line. That would be a great start.
Yeah. What I'm asking for is a really nice return right here. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Get us out around the 30. Get us some room to breathe.
They just need room to breathe.
They'll be taken by Key.
Moving straight up through the middle, cutting off to the left. Oh, he's in a lot of trouble, but he makes a spin move round, but finally brought down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Yep. 25-yard gain brings it out to the 24-yard line. It will be first and 10 for the Mustangs off the left hash.
Oh, that wasn't the greatest return, but again, we've got two people stuck in the backfield with Marlowe. She's obviously looking for more blocking power, see if she can get a pass out, but I mean, the Bills' coverage is really strong, and I just don't think taking receivers out of the mix is going to help the situation, but we'll see what happens.
I agree. Marlowe has two back in the backfield with her, two receivers to the right, one to the left, taking her time looking over the defense right now. When they've been in this offense, it's created favorable situations. They've had some receivers find some room to move around. Marlowe gets taken down right there by Puppet right in the middle of the field, loses 2 yards. The receivers have gotten open. We saw Key get behind a receiver. We also saw Key coming across the middle. He got a few steps inside of the receiver. So there are plays there to be made. Like we said, they're setting themselves up for success. They just have to start executing in these key situations. But hey, 7 minutes, about 13 seconds to go until halftime. 14-0 in favor of the Bills. Second down and 12 for the Mustangs.
And still everything to play for.
Definitely.
Marlowe again moving it through the center, looking for some joy, but stumbled immediately and there's a fumble.
Could be picked up by the Bills here.
Oh, that is something that they did not need.
Yep, it
I mean,
kicked way over to the left side, and I was like, well, there's nothing.
yeah.
There's 3 Bills there, and I don't
Yeah.
think they're all gonna miss it. So
See, I mean, we're singing the praises of the ground game here, but I mean, that's the risk of what you get when you pull the ground game, and that sadly just did not work out for the Mustangs right there, and straight back into possession of the Bills again on that, on that 25-yard line.
And Crevin just absolutely leaving ankles all over the field, breaks outside, crosses around, hanging around the 10-yard line, gets to the sideline, cuts back inside, tackled eventually. 16 yards later, a great run, individual effort there by Crevin, like we said, leaving ankles all over the field, picks up 16 yards down to the 8-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Bills. 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. Crevin snaps, rolls over to the right side. He's got room to work if he wants it, and he does. Steps up inside, kind of gets caught up on his own players, though. Tackled by Jillian. Picks up 1 yard on the play. Kind of got caught up in his own big old linemen were holding him back. Crevin's probably telling him, "Get your fat butt out of my way. I'm trying to score a touchdown."
Yeah. biggest problem for the Mustangs there is that it's unable to bring any kind of pressure to worry Crevin at all, giving him any opportunity to carve up the field any way he chooses to. He's playing back right now, looking for that pass, under a little bit of pressure, but finding joy.
There's the back
Of the
across.
box come out. And again to Lieutenant Dan for that touchdown.
Well, that was right there. That was a one-on-one battle with Dan and whoever that was. I was so cammed out I can't see who it was.
Yeah, I can see either.
Yeah, so Dan against whoever that was, and Dan played perfectly. Went right to the ball. The corner kind of went out of position a little bit.
Yep.
Allowed Chris, Dan, whatever we're calling them, getting so many different names here in local.
Yeah.
But a really good job there. One-on-one situation. Crevin says, "I believe." Positive, and Chris brings it in.
Yeah.
For his second score of the game.
Great thing by Chris Lieutenant Dan there is you see him slide in between the cornerback and the safety there and tease out a bit of room for himself to catch that ball.
Definitely.
It's
really good awareness.
Awareness, just control of the field is what the Bills. It's been consistent across all the games I've seen them play. Is that they just know how to take control of the field.
That's knowing where the pass is going, where you are, where the defender is, and where you need to be. And Chris knew all those things and executed it perfectly in that one play, and it results in another touchdown. 2nd of the game for him, 3rd on the night for the Bills, 21-0. Here,
Dre looking for the return this time, moving straight up the field, kicking off to the right. Oh, moving around, and he's brought straight down by
at
Crevin.
20-yard line.
Yeah, damn, they really need to be getting past there. So the Bills really good at spreading out on the kick return there and just punching in exactly at the right time. When the returner is just out of any potential blocking, just brought straight down. And it's just not going to help the Mustangs get any favorable return on yards at the kickoff.
Marlowe now has moved to bunch set to the left, so 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And all I'm hoping for right now is that this doesn't become a throw it up game where they just try to get huge chunks through the air. And it's not right there. The best decision that Marlowe's made on the ground yet. Cuts around back inside, picks up 9. Move. She backed out, moved to the left, had single, got the block, looped around, and was able to pick up 9 easy yards. Best run of the night so far. Great job.
It was a complete play of timing as well. She made her move in good time, just as those defensive ends were just shooting right past her, and the OLBs just kind of missed her, and she was like, "Yeah, see ya."
Very good job there by Marlowe on that play. So it brings up 2nd down and 1. They go back with the 2 in the backfield. Bert and Greg. Greg to the left, Bert to the right. Ace, Jillian, and Jace trying to hold back the front 4 of the Bills. Give Marlowe a little time to make a play here.
What I really want to see from Marlowe right now is for her to tail her 2 running backs in the backfield with us. Just get out there and go for the pass. But, here they are looking for the blocks. Not any receivers out there. Looks like Kai's open down over there.
That's a way out of bounds.
Yeah, damn. Kai, I keep seeing this lone red jersey down in deep, and I'm like, hey, that guy's open, chuck at him. But it's just not materializing for her.
Yeah, it's hard because in that situation she has so much pressure in her face, even if it's just one person, but they're charging right in. It's as the quarterback, you can't really see that, like, Key's doing a really good job. He's finding room across the middle to get open, but the ball's not able to get there because Marlowe can't see anything because and I think it's Odith. Odith over there on the right side that time was right in her face, right off the
Yeah,
off the bat,
absolutely.
and she just had to drop back and, hey, throw the ball out of bounds. It's 3rd down and 1, very, very manageable. Live to fight another day. One thing that you might want to think about doing is maybe getting, you have 2 in the backfield. If you hand the ball off to them, just give the Bills something else to think about. That those 2 guys aren't just blockers. And hey, look at that! I say
Look
that.
at you, Psychic.
Those up deep across the middle. Oh, right
Oh,
into the hands of Jaden. It was a little over the throw. I saw Jaden kind of loop around. He just waited on it. Right into the hands of Jaden. He was targeting Dre on the play. Dre on the play. Wrong. But the worst starting field position yet for the Bills.
absolutely. I mean, hey, better than anything else they've come up with so far.
Well, I'm happy the fact that they changed things up. As soon as I say, just hand it off to somebody. Just do something different. Make the Bills have to respect different players in different situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bat it down.
Yeah, better down. Yeah, but I think what we saw from that last play as well, which was really interesting, is that, the Bills, okay, yeah, fine, they're in position, but that was looking good to me as a pass. It just, had some really good play from the coverage back there from the Bills. I'd like to see more like that. They certainly shouldn't be discouraged by that pick at all.
No.
Downside.
Just put the ball, give your team a chance is all you really want to do here. Krevin snaps.
Exactly.
Rolls around. Good job by Jace, holding the outside, crashing down. As soon as there was a huge hole for Krevin to run through. Jace comes down, closes it. 3rd down and 10. Bills line back up.
The Mustangs are getting a bit of breath here. They're allowed to think, hey, there's a lot of field behind us, and I'm playing less fatalistically as the ball comes out straight into
wide open. Jaden behind everyone. 56-yard touchdown, just a dagger right there. 3rd and 10. You've played the first 2 downs very, very well, and then Jaden just hits you with a little takes it right up the middle of the field. 59 yards for the touchdown, and his 2nd of the night.
I think the thing is, playing as a safety as well, there's no shame as a safety when you're playing against a team like the Bills to just give a player like Jaden a bit of a cushion to just, hey, let him get the ball, just stop him if he grabs it.
Yeah. They did a really good job, and the Bills will do this. Jaden, you had really 2 players were running right up that seam, heading right up that hash mark. One of the players took off toward the sideline, just kind of just hit a little out route toward the side. What happened then? The safety goes with that guy. Well, what is Jaden? Then he's wide open. It was really a pick your own poison, because if that safety sticks with Jaden, well, what happens there is Krevin probably tosses the ball over to the receiver who's heading to the right, but the safety has an opportunity to kind of make up that ground because there's still nobody behind him. But as soon as he bites over, it's just Krevin just give Jaden a shot. He's wide open by about 10, 15 yards. That's what happens there. And 59 yards later, we're talking about another Bills touchdown.
Exactly. And your analysis of that play there just really sort of solidifying in my mind that Krevin here, he really is dictating what's going on this field. I mean, he's dividing this field the way he wants to, and it's just sad that the Mustangs are just unable to answer in kind. I mean, the game's far from over, and I think the Mustangs have a lot of fight in them, and I think, if anything, these last couple of players have probably only served to just make them angry, and if they can channel that energy, we can expect to see something good from them in the next drive.
I agree. And while they set up for the kickoff, we will talk about SL Live Radio. SL Live Radio is your virtual life's #1 radio station and true HD sound quality, offering you the hottest DJs spinning the freshest mixes on the grid live. That is SL Live Radio, radio for your second life. For more info, contact Esme Capello or Thorne Andel. While they're still setting up, we'll go ahead and talk about the next one, and she is here with us today. That is Blueberry. Blueberry is an original clothing store for women, made by a woman with passion for art, and that is Blueberry. Good job on the return right there. Best field position.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant play by the Mustangs there. moving the ball 20 yards past the 20-yard line, which is
Yep.
going to give them a lot of room to breathe. Exactly what they need right now. And like we were saying, they're coming back. They want to fight for this.
Exactly. It was 28-0. We were talking about this game on the Pulse, and I was just like, just find something good, something that you can build on. And the two plays that they've got beaten with that backside
Down,
pass
set,
and the one that
hike.
they just had, those are situations that as a young team you can learn from and say, okay, when we're in this situation again, these are the decisions that our players need to be making. As Marlo rolls over to the right, dances around, gets back to the line of scrimmage, is taken down by Death Sheep. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. The Mustangs have done some really good things. They've gotten themselves in good positions on offense, just haven't been able to make that last little effort that it takes to make the play be a success. There's been holes, there's been receivers open. They've taken good chances, but it's just not materializing in anything.
It seems that like there's a lot of potential going on for the Mustangs.
Down,
It's
set,
just not
hike.
lining up into a successful play.
Yep.
The fundamentals are there, but it's just not aligning properly for them.
Marlo rolling over to the left, tosses it deep up. A lot of Bills and a lot of Mustangs, and it's going to be intercepted by Skinner. If I'm not mistaken, he's another Lieutenant Dan. Yes, he is. So, Lieutenant Dan number 2 comes in with his first play of the game, interception, tossed up, and that was just, they're throwing it deep down the field.
Down,
There's
set,
a whole
hike.
lot of everybody, and it's just 50-50, and the Bills are going to win those more often than not. Tosses it across the middle of the field.
Oh,
got
straight over
behind him
Jaden's head.
again, but overthrows Jaden just as you said.
Jaden is a threat. He really needs to be stopped. And the thing is, the coverage on the Mustangs here, those back three, including the middle linebacker, don't feel afraid. Just pull straight back. Do not let Jaden get past, because he is going to find a hole to get through. He always does. Kai pulling straight back this time, following Jaden. Lets Jaden get straight past him, playing really close to him.
Ball thrown short to the left side, skips out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Just seeing a lot of unfortunate mistakes from the back three on the Mustangs here.
And one thing about the Bills is their receivers are very smart. They're very smart
Absolutely.
route runners. They utilize the comeback. They find empty spots, and they'll just sit there, and they'll wave at Crevin until he eventually throws it their way. Crevin snaps, rolls over to the left, dances around, gets back over to the left, breaks outside of the contain, throws it back across the middle, got a receiver wide open. Dante again cuts inside, back outside, getting toward the 30-yard line, still moving around, waiting for some blockers, tripped up, and eventually brought down. 32 yards later, Ace Nava on the tackle, but another big gain by the Bills, and this time from Crevin, to Dante, as we hit the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go until halftime in this pretty fast-moving game. I like it.
Down,
I like
set.
these quick games.
I like these quick games. They're very fun to watch.
I don't like playing in them because I like the game.
No.
I don't like games that last, dead ball penalty. I don't like games lasting 4 hours, but I don't want them to last 15 minutes either.
Dead ball.
No,
You look up, you're
no.
like, oh, where all the time go?
On
While
a
they
2-minute
discuss
warning,
this,
I don't hear
why
ready
don't you
from
tell us
both
about A&A?
teams.
Yeah. Are you looking for that
it's
special
classed
piece
as
of
a
jewelry?
timeout.
Whether it's an
I was just
elegant
about to
Is that a new
business
rule?
formal or for a
I didn't
wedding,
know that.
come along to Diamante,
Well,
ANA's very
the
own
2-minute
jewelry
warning,
line,
what is it?
and see what we have for
every
you.
spot.
Or are you looking
It's
for
a timeout.
SL-Link
It's-
enhancement add-ons?
Some
We carry
sometimes
those
it's been
wide
let go a
range of nails
little,
and shoes that will complete any outfit.
but
While you're there, don't you forget
due
to check
to
out the
some
ANA
kickoffs,
to find that
the
perfect
way it's
gift
going is
for that perfect someone.
it's in the rule book.
Diamante
It's
and
being
ANA,
enforced like that
because
now.
life
So.
is your creativity.
Still my favorite
Well,
slogan.
When it's a 2-minute
I
warning,
don't know who
Yeah.
the creators.
both teams
I'm
say
just
ready.
saying, whoever
The
came
ball
up
can
with
go into
that
play early.
makes me feel
If
happy
neither
when I hear
the
that
team
life
says
is my
anything,
creativity.
they'll go into play 2
It
minutes
makes my day.
after.
Why don't you tell us about Honey
Understand?
103?
It's just the same.
Yeah,
as
tune
if you call
into
it timeout.
KHNY Honey 103 for a smooth, romantic blend of R&B, neo soul, and soul 24/7, 365 days. Perfect music to groove to as you're enjoying time with your lover or unwinding after a long day of work. Either visit www.honey103.com or grab that stream and add it to your land. Honey 103, your soul satisfaction, a division of Macchiato Media.
Okay, we're ready. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
We're ready.
When did that become a thing? Well, yeah, that's stupid.
Downside
Galen, I'm
hike.
also being told they're not hearing you in local, so you have to turn your in-world voice on. People on the fan side unable to
Yeah,
hear
let me
you.
check that out.
Big pass to Dante, working his way across the field into the end zone. Easy 32 yards. Strike across the middle. Dante works back to the left side, loops around, 32-yard touchdown strike. Another one from Crevin, this time to Dante. Bills 34, Mustangs 0. Extra point coming up. Yeah, I don't know whenever that, I've never had that become ever called, and it's always just ran, so that's a penalty.
Downside hike.
That was
That's a
added in
weird call.
without ever telling anyone anything. All right, well, warning to everyone, I guess, that now apparently 2-minute warning is a timeout, dead ball, and you got to wait until they put the ball back in play. So, everyone here, tell your respective teams that that is now a thing. I'll make sure the Dolphins know.
Downside hike.
So we shouldn't have that problem in our game, guys. Dolphins and Cowboys should both know that we have to wait until they put the ball back in play on the 2-minute warning. But a good return here by Dre. Dre's one of those. He doesn't sprint the whole time, but he's very patient when he's returning the kick, and he always scares you because there's a second where he like leaks through everybody.
Yeah. See, patience is a really great thing on the kick return as well, because one thing you got to wait for, you can't leave all your blockers behind. You got to wait for that hole to open itself, Yeah. And Dre's really kind of a surgeon in that regard. He's obviously, it looks like the Mustangs have decided that, hey, the kick return, yeah, Dre's got to get it.
Yeah. Marlowe over to the left, dropping back. Working her way, throws it back over to the left side. Nice little route right there by Greg. Continuing to work up the left sideline, gets tackled and brought down by Jaden 18 yards later. And to those asking me when that became a rule, I'm not aware of that whenever that became a rule. So, but hey, Crevin shouldn't be mad. He got 5 more passing yards onto his stat sheet because he got backed up. So. His gift wrap, Crevin 5 more yards as he works trying to be the player of the game here. And this one's still a whole half left to go. Marlowe rolls over to the right side, cuts inside, taken down.
Yeah, Marlowe's found a lot of joy making those, admittedly quite short runs straight through the middle, and it's something that the Bills are going to have to try and shore up pretty quick.
Yep.
She only has to do that a couple of times and bam, straight over the first yard line. First down marker even.
But best drive so far that the Mustangs have had right here at midfield. 16 seconds, 15 seconds to go into half. Then you call timeout. Timeout. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. I have the new rule book, or the new rules that were released like last week, I think. So during halftime, I'm going to comb through them and see if there's anything about that. So.
I mean, every time I flick through that rulebook, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of nebulously worded, and it's I don't know, it may be something that needs to be looked at because I don't think it's kind of fair that something that's been previously unenforced is suddenly no, it's a rule.
Yeah, it doesn't create an advantage in any way.
Exactly.
For either team. So, but hey, either way, like I said, gift wrap 5 more yards.
Down, set, hike.
Yeah, every cloud has a silver lining as she moves straight up through the center. Oh, looking straight through the middle, making a nice, neat 2-yard gain.
4th down. I call timeout. Yep, and toss it up. Just heave it down the field. She's got to get up to the 50-yard line and really, really bomb this. Give herself an opportunity to maybe get to the front of the end zone here.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing, that pass that Marlowe completed a couple of plays ago, she made. What she's been making mostly throughout this game is, exceedingly max distance passes. She throws it a little shorter and suddenly the Bills just aren't expecting it. And that pass is picked up by, I can't remember who it was it?
It's Greg.
Greg, yeah, brought up by Greg. I think, like you were saying before, a lot of what needs to be done is to just make the Bills think about what Marlowe's going to do. And that's really going to help the Mustangs put some numbers on that board.
Mustangs are ready.
And like you say, she's been going really deep down the field, overthrowing people. A lot of it just comes down to you need to have plays that give your player an opportunity to make a play. You know, if it's
Absolutely.
overthrown, he can't do anything. If it's slightly under, he can come back. Toss up, going down the side, dancing around, intercepted by Chris. Tackled, and that is halftime, ladies and gentlemen. 35 for the Bills, zero, excuse me, for the Mustangs teams heading to their locker rooms. We also have two. Yep, we do. Yes, okay. We have two groups of cheerleaders. The Mustangs Darlings will be kicking off this halftime show for us. So, Durgan, if you let me know whenever you're ready to go, I'll let the ladies know so that they can start their music. All right, we are ready. Darlings, take it away, and we'll be back to talk about the second half shortly. Alrighty. Thank you to the Mustangs darlings and to the Mystic Jills for the great routines and the great halftime entertainment that they have just provided us. Mustangs and the Bills should be taking the field. Mustangs taking the field now. Bills to be here momentarily. So 35-0 at halftime. Galen, you're in the Bills locker room. What are you telling your offense? What are you telling your defense? You're muted in TeamSpeak, just so that you know. like, why is Galen not talking? Then I turned up my N-word. I was like, oh, he is talking. They're just not hearing him on stream right now.
Fixed.
All right, there we go. So, if you're if you're in the Mustangs locker room, what are you telling your team?
What I'm telling my team if I'm the Mustangs is let's try and move the ball past the 20-yard limit, like we've been doing on those kick returns, and try and get at least a single point. Well, you can't get a single point, but at least get 2 points up there. 3, 6, 7, 14,
Find
whatever
some
you can
sort
do.
of success.
Just make sure, because I think what's really important for the Mustangs at this point is to not get demoralized, not walk away from this game feeling bad about it. I mean, the thing with the Mustangs is we've seen a lot of things almost materialize for them. A lot of big things almost materialize from them. And the amount of times that we've found receivers really up deep with balls that have just gone straight over their heads or have just been picked off. This score could be a lot closer than what we're seeing it as. A lot closer.
I agree. I agree with you too. Offensively, find some sort of success on the ground, through the air, get some sort of points on the board. Defensively, just don't allow 35. Be better in the second half, which you played the first half, fairly well. But the way that you got beaten the first half, I don't want to see those same mistakes again. I don't want to see a receiver get wide open on the backside for an easy score. I don't want to see Jaden get left wide open across the middle for an easy score. If they're going to score 35 points, I want them to have to score 35 points, different ways than they just had to.
It looks like the big problem, the point of failure that the Mustangs have, especially on the defense, is that it just doesn't seem to any sort of cohesion. I think that maybe the leadership of the defense is perhaps not that strong, but it just seems that maybe they're not communicating that well. We're seeing orange jerseys essentially bunch up together, downfield, and that's just not going to help them out because it's just allowing Creven to carve up the field how he wants to.
Yep.
Downstairs.
Exactly. If you look around and there's a buttload of your team around you, that's not good because either the other team, if it's offensively, then it allows one person to cover 3 people, and if it's defensively, well, somebody in white is wide open, but the ball goes through the end zone. Very nice kickoff right there by Burt, handling the kicking duties for the Mustangs, and the Bills will start from their own 20-yard line. Creven comes out in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Chris and Pater to the left. Jaden, Dante, and Skinnerd to the right. Creven snaps, rolls over to the right, cuts inside, back outside, leaves some ankles hanging around the 25, crosses the 30 to the 35, dancing around even more right along the sideline, taken down eventually by Ashley. Picks up 17 yards. Cut inside and around the 30-yard line. Just gave a nice little move against one of the Mustangs. Was able to break outside to the sideline and kept on rolling. 17 yards. The Bills moving already. 1 first down in the books. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right.
Creven's just not giving the Mustangs anything. If you watch the back 3 with Kai, Greg,
the Bills only have
Dre,
2 linemen.
Yeah. Wow. Only have 2. Wow. That's
might call a timeout here.
Yeah, Creven's moving off to the sideline there. But if you observe the back 3 of the Mustangs on that last play, you have Kai, Greg, and Dre on the back 3 balls there, and they're moving back a lot more efficiently than they were before. They were giving the cushion that they needed to give to allow themselves to, give themselves an opportunity to stop the receivers, from making too much of a play out of a catch, which is good. But what Creven's doing is he's showing his complete, ownership of the field at this point and just saying, hey, look, I'm going to go through this running lane that you've just given me. Now, balancing the need to give a cushion to receivers while also making sure that your running lanes are protected, that's something that I think a lot of the younger teams in this league will need to come up with something better than what they're doing, because it's just, Kreven, he's sitting there, and it's just, he's making a lot of strong reads on the field. And it's just the Mustangs are sadly caught in a very reactive position where they don't really have any opportunity to sort of dictate terms on the defense, and it's not a very healthy position to be in.
Go ahead.
I agree. While they are in the timeout, we will talk about Honey 103 2 and
We've already done that one.
Oh, we did? God dang it.
So we'll talk about Gut Bucket,
Yeah,
a themed 1950s throwback region. Googie, bowling, malls, stunning areas to relax, dance, and hang out with friends. Some of SL's top designers, including Mad P, Meshworks, Moda, Sinful, Delirium Style, Hadra, Pomposity, 2013, Identity, Deadpool, Seven Deadly Skins, Deer, and many more. Beautiful and eye-catching for photography, blogging, and finally a small area to have private weddings with a minister and full use of props. That's Gut Bucket Shopping Mall.
Yes, it is. Because I don't know where we're at in our sponsors. Apparently, have not been paying attention to what we've been doing. But the Bills have a full team back on the field. Refs have left. Ball is in play. Snap. Dead ball. He might have snapped it before he put the ball back in play. This would actually be a legitimate one, unlike the one at the 2-minute warning, which was. Well, while they assess this penalty, we'll talk about Designing SL, because I'm caught up with our sponsors. Designing SL is a feed specifically for creators in Second Life, featuring new releases, vendor ads, and store information directly from the creators themselves. Owned by Aliana Logan, there is no cost to join the feed or the in-world group. Sister feeds are Blogging SL for fashion bloggers, Hunting SL, featuring media announcements and information on events in SL of all types, and Living SL, featuring the blogs of residents who share information about SL, and that is Designing SL. Incomplete cadence, 5-yard penalty. Durkin from the field letting us know what the boys are saying. Oh, I did the same thing with Jeff. He was talking. Snap goes across the middle. Good adjustment there by Dante, cutting back to the middle of the field, pushing through, taking down 23 yards from Kreven to Dante.
An absolute killer of a pass there, and the problem you see down the field is you got a lot of white jerseys surrounded on the outside by a bunch of orange jerseys, and as long as that thing's on point, it's going to land on a white jersey. I think defense on the Mustangs is having a hard time of being able to balance aggressive and conservative play there.
Kreven's going to run right here.
Yeah.
Easy first down.
Yeah.
As soon as that containment was broken, he's able to loop around, got 2 blocks, and it was just gone. That was just like what you were saying, though. Balancing your aggressiveness with your conservative, and the fact that the defensive backs are dropping out, they're creating a box. Well, Kreven's just throwing darts inside of the box right now, where all the white jerseys are, just as you were saying. Kreven snaps, runs around, throws it across the middle, deep overthrows the intended receiver. Better coverage, though. He was right there. I mean, he didn't get way behind him. It would have taken a perfect dot to drop right on top of Jay's head, which Kreven can throw, but the defense was at least in a position to force the quarterback to have to be absolutely perfect on that play.
Moving off to the... Oh, he's caught in the middle this time, moving straight back, but not under much pressure, moving up towards the line of scrimmage, towards the sideline, throwing to the middle. Caught by Dante, moving up through the middle, losing every single defender, trying to move a spin move. Probably gave up a few extra yards there, but caught 11 yards shy of the end zone.
24 yards on the game, and Dante proving to kind of be that across the middle guy. I mean, he's running the same route every time. And Kreven's just like, okay, let me look. Okay, where's Dante? There he is. Here, get the ball. It's like it's his check down, his safety net.
Absolutely. Yeah, safety valve is really important as he moves off towards. Straight in the middle there.
Receivers wide open in the middle.
Completely uncovered, Jaden. And again, see, that's the problem in the end zone. You're saying before that you do have very short passing lanes that are very easy to cover, but at that kind of range, it's just so easy. A momentary lapse in coverage, just bam, it's in.
Because even it's tough because the passing lanes are so small. But as you're saying, the margin of error is as well, because if he gets a step, that ball's going to get to him so fast that, unlike a 40-yard down the field pass, if the guy's got you beat with the ball hanging up in the air for 5 minutes, you have a potential to make up that ground. But if you're beat, just like you said, right there in the end zone, bang, I mean, it's over, because that ball gets there in no time flat, and you're not going to be able to recover as a defender in the end zone in those situations. So very good point there.
I think another problem that with the defense are having there is that just kind of sticking too far towards the back of the end zone. You really want to be on that goal line to try and intercept any ball that comes towards you.
Yep.
Oh,
at the kind of, you're wanting, like you're saying, to kind of be kind of middle of the end zone, a little bit toward the front, and try to force, again, the quarterback have to throw that perfect pass. And we're talking about dropping a perfect pass from 8 yards out of the end zone over your head into a 3-yard window that's sitting in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he might can do that, even the best quarterbacks in the league. Maybe you can do that every now and then, but because you're so close, you also aren't able to get that loft on the ball. It's going to be a flattened pass, and it's going to be really hard to get that pass just to drop right in there like that.
Yeah, exactly, which is why you don't want to be behind it, because you've got to make a play on it.
Yep. Well, while we are... this is a quick one anyway. It is Combatant. Combatant is the first and still the lead innovator in high-quality, 100% original mesh and clothing products aimed for the football community within SL. They offer a wide range of products from jerseys, cleats, helmets, compression clothing, uniforms, hand warmers, gloves, and much more. That is Combatant. Leave your mark. Excessive cheating off of the ball, which is just simply moving more than the ball allows you. You'd be holding like the space bar and then click the ball
down, set,
and it puts you in the animation, but you're not really where you're supposed to be. Marlowe snaps, rolls over to the left, throws it short, intercepted. It was behind the intended receiver. Those you just can't do right there. And Burt eventually tackles them after 8 yards, but Jaden with the interception. There were two defenders behind the receiver. The ball was thrown behind the receiver, and one of the two defenders came down with it.
See, the problem with that play is as soon as Marlowe moves off to the left, she's completely open. The Bills know where the ball's going to land, and they're just making sure they get as many white jerseys over there as possible.
Yep.
I think
back of the end zone, perfect pass,
straight in,
perfect,
absolutely just hooked straight over Dre's head.
And that's whenever you give the guy who got the interception, you say, all right, dude, this one's going to you. So Jaden scores again, 27 yards out. Pass from Crevin to Jaden, 48-0. And the Bills starting to unload on the Mustangs here. Still 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. 49-0 in favor of the Bills. Why don't you just keep on rolling on with our sponsors, and then we'll talk about whatever you were about to say.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to have to talk about Hydra, where you will find an array of modern, urban, trendy fashion footwear and accessories for both men and women. We feature mostly mesh products, but also have appliers based on base clothing for mesh bodies for the ladies as well. We also offer our VIPs 300 lindens of in-store credit every month, regular gifts, lotteries, and much more. That's Hydra.
And the kick is off right down the middle of the field. Dre takes it, working up the right side, dances around, gets back to the middle of the field, dropping back. Don't lose
moving
yards,
way,
Dre.
never move that. A total schoolboy error. You see it way too much, but every time you just go, no!
Don't run backwards. It's like when someone catches the ball and they cross back across the first down marker. It's like, what are you doing? Just stay up there. At the 20-yard lines, you were at the 30. Just stay up there. But Chris comes in with the tackle, and the Mustangs start again right around the 20-yard line. Marlowe in the shotgun, two receivers to the right, one to the left. Snap works to the right, got a hole in the middle, and she takes off. Picks up 3 quick yards before she's taken down by Jaden. 2nd down and 7.
I think
play is under review.
I think, thinking of Marlowe's play here, I think one thing that the Bills really aren't expecting when she rolls off to one side or the other is a cross-field pass. I mean, we're seeing such a collection of white jerseys in coverage wherever she rolls off to that, a real sneaky cross-field pass would probably, and, this is probably an exaggeration, but could probably lead to a touchdown if, if the receiver's in the right position.
Yeah.
It's just so, I mean, being, sorry.
When Marlo listens back, because I'm going to agree with you that an across the field pass could be good here, she's going to not believe it because I tell her, because she loves to throw that across the field pass, or she used to, and I used to give her a hard time about it sometimes. But this would be a good time because they are following with her so far, and she hasn't done it. So it could be a nice little change of pace. Just toss it back over there. If your receiver's wide open, of course, don't throw it back over there into coverage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dead ball penalty.
Oh, dead ball penalty. But yeah, the thing with that as well is it's really easy for us to say that as well. But I mean, from her perspective, it's hard to see sometimes where all that coverage is going. And when you've got all those jerseys in the way, especially when you've got your you got your line so close to you, it's really hard to kind of see where people are. And just seeing that massive sea of white jerseys, it's a lot easier for us than it is for her.
Yeah, false start against the Mustangs. Going to back them up 5 yards. But being calling and commentating as many games as I do and as I have, you get comments from people, and I've had quarterbacks let me know that whenever I've said things, they've been like, if you would have just seen it from where I saw it, you would know that I couldn't do that. And I'm just like, well, I'm just calling it. I'm up here in the skybox, I'm just calling it like I see it. I think you should be able to do it. Just because maybe you can't doesn't mean that I don't believe you should be able to do it. But no, that's one of the things when you talk about it, and they listen back to it, they're just like, why would you do that? Marlon's gonna get swallowed up, lose 4 yards, tackled by Rule.
It's just the pressure that the Bills are bringing.
Another flag. That's 3 straight.
Wow,
freaking penalties. Jesus.
The Bills are just so efficient at being able to mop up a quarterback that strays too long in the pocket. And, Marlo, if she manages to cut out to either the left or the right, it's given her a lot of room. But, that's when she kind of needs to consider to bring in that cross-field pass. But, I mean, if she strays too long in the pocket, she's going to get swallowed up. And, the Bills just completely, every single game I've seen the Bills play this season, they've just been unable to be blocked in a lot of situations, just completely crashing through. The offensive line just completely collapsing, and the quarterback just being swallowed up, destroyed, fed to the Sarlacc, whatever you want to call it.
We'll just decline it. It's fine.
And Flo out there dancing around, saying whatever he's saying. But while he does that, we'll talk about something new: props, poses, and all sorts. Family, couple, singles, and theme props and poses, all priced low but top quality. It was probably a pass interference against the Mustangs, and the penalty was declined, probably by the Bills. The ball is now back in play.
Yeah, not an enviable position for the Mustangs here. Really got to try and get a quick pass out. I think, again, something that no one's expecting out of the Mustangs now is a nice short pass. Some, quick passes, some moves up the field, just need to keep the pace up. I think, depriving the Bills of the opportunity to get into position or to swallow up Marlo is really going to have to make them rethink their strategy. We just need to see a lot more pace from the Mustangs on the offense right now.
I agree. Marlo snaps, rolls over toward the left side, working her way, throws it back across the middle, and there it is, right to Dre.
And what did we tell her?
Cross the 35 and get tackled right there, picks up 21 yards. I'm going to tell you, whenever she started heading over to the left, I started seeing this play unfold, and being around the Mustangs as much as I am, I kind of know things. And I'm like, this is going back across the field. I wasn't going to say it before it happened, but good job there by Marlo. Somebody's listening.
Yeah.
I think Kai is telling Dre, they're telling you to do this. You need to be doing this. Just throwing that out there. Somebody's telling him. But no, really good job there by Marlo. Snap, and a nice move.
Oh, beautiful move. Kanji doesn't quite capitalize on it, though. It was a nice, neat 5-yard pickup.
Hey, I'd take 5 yards every play.
Absolutely.
Second down and 5 for the Mustangs.
But you see right there, you get one successful play on the Bills, and they're reconsidering their strategy, and then she pulls in that 5 yard run right there. You just got to keep that kind of pace up. You got to keep them thinking. The more you make them think, the easier you're gonna have the easier play you're gonna have.
I
Yeah.
agree. Somebody knocked on the door. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2 in the backfield with Marlowe in the shotgun. Ace, Jillian, and Jace still trying to keep the Bills front 4 at bay. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. 49-0 in favor of the Bills. Snap. Rolls over to the right. Back it up. Backing way up.
Oh, you don't want to be backing
Going
that
over
far
to
up.
the right, throws it, got a receiver, but she throws it way too far to the inside. That was a great setup play right there. Dre comes down with the tackle. If she throws that ball right up the sideline, Dre gets it. 100% easy play. Ball's thrown, like
Just
7
misplaced.
yards to the inside there and goes right to the 3 Bills that are standing there. Great job by Dre. Great play. Just have to tidy up on the execution.
Down
Yeah,
Mustangs,
exactly.
so much potential in the plays that we're seeing out of them tonight. It just has to be just tidy it up just a little bit.
Exactly. It's just games like this are a learning experience and a very valuable one.
Yep. Go back
Ooh.
and Mustangs. You'll go back. You'll watch the tape. We can say. It's still not even the fourth quarter, but it's 49-0. So you can say that the game's pretty much over. As far as who's going to win it, and you looking at, okay, in this situation we were right there. All this just needed to happen this way. Okay, in this play we had it. We just needed to do this, and you can go back and then put those things into effect into your next game. Krevin dancing around, throws it back across the middle to Dante, as it has been all night long for the most part. Tackled by Burt, picks up 12 yards, and the Bills just starting to effortlessly move this ball down the field.
It just seems at this point that a lot of the fight is probably being kicked out of the Mustangs now. They try to capitalize on so much. It just seems that it's hard to keep a lot of morale in a game like this, but it's just so sad to see them not getting points up on the board.
Up, juke inside, back outside, nasty moves, still moving around, tackled, brought down at the 8-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Bills at the 8. Picks up 12 yards. Dre on the tackle. Krevin, a very, very, very elusive runner, very good in the open field and in close quarters as well, making people miss. He showed it there. Snaps. Rolls over to the left side, still working. Back. Got a receiver, decides against it. Steps up, heads toward the line of scrimmage, throws it. And nice adjustment by Jaden. Like his 4th touchdown, I think. 8 yards out. Krevin to Jaden yet again. And Jaden, and I think for me, as far as player of the game, Jaden and Chris are right there because they're both. Jaden has more touchdowns now than Chris did, but Chris had the interception, and Jaden's had an interception. Chris had more picks. So it'll be interesting to see. And after this kick, the mercy rule will be into effect. So we will be in a running clock unless the Mustangs are able to bring the deficit under 56 points.
I was saying before, just on that last play that perhaps, some of the fight was kicked out of the Mustangs, but we see a lot of nice coverage in that end zone, which actually forced Krevin to move back so he could make a pass that would arc over the coverage's heads. And so, if the Mustangs are going to be watching this later, that really that's something you want to keep an eye on. If he's moving back like that, it means you've been doing a good job in coverage.
And a fumble and a pickup, and he's still pushing forward. Jazzy's able to recover the fumble, and man, when it rains, it pours. And if you're the Mustangs right now, it's a freaking hailstorm. Jeez, right after allowing a 8-yard pass from Krevin to Jaden on the ensuing kickoff, Greg fumbles, and the Bills recover. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 14-yard line. And the Bills looking to add even more points to the board. Snaps, Krevin over to the left, cuts back to the middle, moving through, pushing forward. He fumbles.
Another fumble.
And it goes into the end zone. Maybe. Is that into the end zone? Fumbles forward. That's just...
just shy as far... No, it is. It's on the line. Yeah, that's in.
It might be an inch. If it's not, I think it's in, though.
Yeah. It's just, that was just a completely unfair kick in the teeth to the Mustangs right when they
Yeah.
really, really, really didn't need it.
Blame Trey. You know,
Yeah, blame Trey. Yeah, blame Trey and the
It's
random
his
number
field.
god.
It's his creator. He's the football. So
Sitting-
they say that they do give the touchdown there. It was recovered in the end zone by the Bills. So another touchdown, a run by Crevin. He fumbles it, falls into the end zone. Jazzy recovers. Another touchdown for the Bills, 62-0. We will go ahead and talk about the Players Club. The Players Club, founded in 2011, is the home to some of the friendliest staff in VIP's NSL. If you are looking for a fun place to hang out, listen to some great music, and meet new friends, check out the Players Club, located in the Players Plaza. As you listen to the tunes, take a walk around the plaza where you can find something for everyone. A new chopper,
Nothing
a new
stops the
necklace,
clock in
and of
Mercy
course
Rule.
both men and women attire. For aspiring designers, they have full perm, texture, and template stores. If you are looking to have a new picture done, they have that as well. For all you Ohana Packers fans, the Ohana Packers team store is located in the plaza. So come check out the Players Club and Plaza today.
No, that was half my bad too.
Flo meandering onto the field and off again for some reason that I can't quite discern from here. Probably just strutting off his nice, sexy new walk.
I wouldn't put all that into it, but whatever. But we are in the fourth quarter, 7 minutes, and of course, inside of 8 minutes, and the clock is running. We are under the mercy rule as the Bills are leading the Mustangs 63-0. And Dre recovers the kick, takes it up to the 19-yard line, and taken down there by Chris. Mustangs will start again from the 19. Lining back up.
I really desperately want to see a touchdown
Changing
from the Mustangs
up
right now.
quarterbacks. Mr. Greg Stella now taking over at the quarterback position. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Marlowe to the left of Greg in the backfield. Bert to the right.
Get one of your running backs on that pass. Do it.
Definitely 63-0 set in favor of the Bills. The Mustangs taking their time here.
The Mustangs at this point really need to fight some kind of guerrilla war on this field.
Just score a touchdown. Yeah, that's it. Just score, get some points.
Do it sneakily though.
Snap.
Get some star points.
Greg rolling out, dancing around, throws it deep down the middle, and it is intercepted by Dante. Working his way back, crosses the 35, crosses the 30, dances back outside, waiting for a couple of blockers, gets tripped up, hands the ball off to Rule, who is still moving, but he's tackled by Jillian. Picks up 18 yards. So like we said, when it rains, it pours, and right now,
I missed
Mustangs
it, but the other ref thought she heard
coming
it.
Back.
After a review of the stream, it is true. There was only a down set on that cadence.
Can we decline that?
No, because it's a dead ball penalty.
Okay.
Wow.
It was okay. So we're hearing that it's going to come back an incomplete cadence. So whenever you're the Mustangs, hey, that's good.
That's a stay of execution if I've ever seen one.
There you go. Sometimes the best thing you can do is have a false start.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Pass interference, or well, not pass interference, it's not a dead ball.
Great.
Or a penalty.
Yeah. So. That play as well, was starting to unravel in a nice way. It's just that Greg was just forced way too far back and still let the ball out, which is just unfortunate given the range of that arm. I mean, as much as we'd like to hulk it 80 yards down the field, we just can't throw that far.
The incomplete cadence. Bills fans not happy with that, even though you're up 63-0. Give the Mustangs something. But two receivers over to the left, one to the right, two back in the backfield. Greg is still going to be your quarterback probably to the end of this game. 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go until it goes final. 20 seconds on the play clock. That following the incomplete cadence penalty. Greg taking his time. 9, 8. Snap. Rolls over to the left, dropping back into the end zone. Is able to loop around and gets taken down by Crevin. Loss of 9 yards. And the Mustangs going the wrong way. 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Now at the 4-yard line. No room for error here. Or it's going to be 2 points and the Bills' ball. Greg still back at quarterback, 2 over to the left. Still the same lineup since he's taken over. Inside of 5.5 minutes to go in the final quarter of play.
Yeah, with his feet planted firmly in the end zone, I'm sure he'll be needing a new pair of shorts.
Knees are just shaking right now.
Palms are sweating.
Palms. Vomit on the sweater already. Mom spaghetti. Calm, but nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready. All right, Greg rolling around right around the back of the end zone, moving, cuts inside, and he's going to take off and run. Makes one guy miss, still moving, taken down by Pater. Picks up 7 yards, 3rd and 17. Gives himself a little bit of breathing room here for this next play.
That's some incredibly smart play by Greg there. Teasing the Bills to chase him into the end zone. He just pushes straight back out to get those yards. Really, really nice play.
Close to 4.5 minutes to go until the end of the game. Greg trying to spring a little bit of life here into the Mustangs at the end, try to get something on the scoreboard as the Bills lead them 63-0. This game approaching its end. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
Yeah, we've had a lot of the receivers, really good at getting out deep, getting free. And I think if Kai on the left there on his own can find himself open deep again, and Greg can, get that thing straight on top of him, that we could see a touchdown. Oh,
that Greg just standing there and just planted. Crevin comes charging in, 5-yard loss, 4th and 22 for the Mustangs at the 6-yard line. And while they set up for this play, we're going to get Fameshed in here. It's a monthly event that opens on the 1st of every month. Each month, they provide top-quality original mesh designers to help fill your needs for fashion and home garden designers as well. They aim to provide the best of the best for the shoppers in Second Life. That is Fameshed. And the Mustangs are just going to line up and punt this ball away. Let the clock run down, I would expect. So while they do that, why don't you tell us about You Play Ball Like a Girl?
You Play Ball Like a Girl. Women's sports wear and accessories. Look pretty and play dirty while supporting your favorite teams with You Play Ball Like a Girl jerseys, tops, bottoms, and more. Check them out on the marketplace and keep a lookout for some exciting in-world store news coming up soon. Check out their marketplace store for all your sportswear needs.
And a heck of a return there by Jazzy, taking the ball up the left sideline, making a lot of people miss, and the only one person between Jazzy and the end zone, and Key is able to bring him down.
That's pretty much been returned right from where it was punted from.
But a really good return there. Good individual effort by Jazzy. Great blocks by the Bills as well. Crevin over to the right, dancing around the Mustangs logo. Got a whole host of people around with those at the corner. Nice comeback back shoulder throw right into Lieutenant Dan number 2, Skinnerd. That's going to be a 17-yard touchdown play. Good job there. Very nice pass. Good adjustment. And a great play for the Bills as they add on even more points in one play. Talk about the Cabana. The Cabana is a friendly club featuring the best in classic rock, top 40, country, romance, laughter, fun, family, and great music. That is the Cabana. Why don't you tell us about Odyssey?
Odyssey Music Live, an elite live music venue established originally in 2006, will continue bringing only the best to you and SL. Watch for weekly events at www.facebook.com/groups/a lot of numbers. I'll be posting that in local.
Yes, a lot of numbers. 112421605485275. Play that back if you need it. Play that back if you need it.
You know what? You almost beat me to it.
Jeez. So many numbers. But Dre gets the ball, works up the right hash, gets taken down just across the 20 at the 22-yard line. Approaching a minute left to go, and Marlowe returns in at quarterback. 2 receivers over to the left, 1 to the right. Dre all by himself to the right side.
In the dying moments of this game, I really want to see Marlowe air that ball out and it to land in an orange jersey's hands and it walk straight into the end zone. I think the people watching it deserve to see this, especially all those Mustangs fans.
Yep. The Bills fans will even
Down
cheer. They've been
set
pulling for
hike.
the Mustangs here in the latter moments as well, telling them that they can do this. So Marlowe rolls around, and Odith is saying, "Don't care if my fans want you to score. I don't." 9-yard sack on the play. Loses 9. Second down and 19 Mustangs. 20 seconds to go. Great job there by Otis. And they're going to move Greg into the backfield again. This will be the final play of the game. So while they do that, waiting for it. Hopefully they'll get another playoff here. 8, 7, 6,
Down
5,
set, hike.
4. Snap is off. This will be the final play of the game. Greg rolling around, tosses it way down the field, overthrows everybody. And that is your game, ladies and gentlemen. The Bills victorious over the Mustangs. 70. Great job to both teams in this one. Great job to the Bills taking advantage of every opportunity they were given in this game. Also to the Mustangs, I say take this tape, go back. You had a lot of potential and a lot of plays. There's a lot that you can work on and look forward to and be excited about moving forward if you are a Mustangs player, cheerleader, or a fan. But we are going to wrap out this show with the Shining Starlets Dance Troupe is an energetic, fun dance group that choreographs and performs dance showcases covering multiple genres and dance styles. They create sets and costumes to fit the event theme. The Starlets have danced for a variety of events such as Relay for Life, 1 Billion Rising, and Second Life's birthday celebrations. For information on upcoming Shining Starlet performances, you can visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Shining Starlets.
That's a joke.
Their blog at shiningstarlets.wordpress.com. To book the Starlets at your next event, contact Caden Piers. World, like we said, want to thank everyone for coming out, showing your support to your team. Had a great group of people here watching this game with us. So here comes the big part. Player of the game.
I'm gonna have to say Jaden.
I agree. Jaden Spot had a great game. Had some interceptions. Played well on the defensive side. Call his name a couple of times for tackles as well, and led his team in receiving touchdowns. Played a huge role in his team's 70-0 success over the Mustangs. But we have a game coming up following this one in about an hour and a half. So if you don't have your tickets or whatever you need to do, make sure that you stick around, at least on the stream with us. That will be the Falcons against the Panthers. So another good game coming up for you in about an hour and a half. But I am Matt. He's Galen. Durgan was on the stream. We had a great time with you all. We'll see y'all next time. You have a good night.